first, before we go into our special guest, we're gonna speak to our floating guest host. I'm pretty sure y'all remember seeing her, man. She done been on the show a few times. We got the dopest dreader. Hey, before I even get to our guest once again, we're going to talk about our guest host. I heard that she got crazy work.
Do not listen to him.
I heard she got crazy work.
Do not listen to him.
They say she got into it last week and it sounded like this. But yeah, man. We got Rashad Scott in here, man.
This the true fighter, the true hitter.
The true hitter,
crazy,
yeah.
Man. It's like when everybody introduced me, like, this is my boxing friend. Like, nah, man, I'm so much more than that.
Man,
okay.
What is it? Sick with it. What they say? Sick with it. What?
Southpaw.
Sick South.
You gotta have the 2 C's.
Yeah. Sick Southpaw. Man, before I even go too far in asking questions, man, the first thing I want to say is Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence.
Man.
I don't even know who them is.
You about to find out. You got to know who they is.
I feel like TC. TC the more versatile fighter. Like, he can fight orthodox, he can fight southpaw. You know what I'm saying? He can switch it up. He might be the more athletic fighter, but he might be more of an athlete than Errol Spence is. But man, it's like betting against Errol Spence is like betting against Floyd, betting against Braun, betting against Steph, betting against people you just don't bet against. You know what I'm saying? Because it's his track record. You know what I'm saying? He's real technical. He's like a Tim Duncan.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And TC is like a Allen Iverson.
You know what's crazy? I've been telling people the same thing. Errol is like Tim Duncan. He got all the fundamentals down.
But Tim Duncan's 6'11" too, so Errol Spence big with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't say TC was like Giannis or no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he little, like, man, he not. Errol's big with it, man, and he spar big, man. He don't spar nobody smaller than him. You know what I'm saying? He spar heavyweight. Look at that.
Like do you spar people smaller than you?
I don't spar.
You don't spar.
I'm not a fighter.
She has sparred before. She has sparred before.
So you a boxer or a fighter?
I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
So you a
lover or a fighter.
You love boxing.
Here you go. Listen, if y'all do want to learn how to box, though,
there you go.
This is the man to go to, especially with your kids. Okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I started at 3 years old. Yeah, most people don't understand, like, the kids' mental, like, their brains develop from 3 years old to 8 years old, 80%.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even understand that. So whatever you teach a kid from the ages of 3 to 8, that's what they retain the most. Like, so in Chinese cultures and Japanese cultures, like, they're teaching their kids 7 different maths, 7 different Englishes, and they graduate from college when they 14. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Our kids are just going into high school. So it's like, it's understanding the concept of the mind. Don't nobody teach us that, man. If they taught us that growing up, man, like, we would be way
further
more.
ahead.
Yeah, we would.
So what do you notice as far as the kids go when it comes to them learning how to box? What's a good age you would say?
I say anything you want to start a kid at, you teach them at 3 years old. Anything. I don't care what it is. Anything you want your kid to learn, you start at 3. You got to understand, anything measured can be increased. So you got to take what they give you from that day, and you got to build off what they give you, piece by piece by piece. You know what I'm saying? It's, the blessing with me is that people don't understand I'm anointed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm anointed to teach. So I can have a room full of people and just one you from just one understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm anointed to do that. Like,
it's almost like being a preacher, except you're doing it in a way of boxing.
Yeah, but it is though. That's my calling. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's supposed to be deeper with distance. Like, the further you go away from the altar, the deeper your anointing supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Jesus wasn't in the temple. He wasn't in the church. He was in the field with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm a frontline soldier. That's just who I am.
So you feel like you walking in your purpose?
Yeah, every day. You know what I'm saying? I've been walking every day, every single day. You know what I'm saying? Every single day.
So what happens when you reach your full potential?
I don't think we ever do. Like, we as people, because the
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't think you ever reach
the goal is to constantly.
You don't think you're going in barbering, you don't feel like you at a
Never.
point where you just
You know why? Because I feel like if you get to the point where you feel like you can reach your full potential, that's when you stop learning.
so you don't want to expand. I feel like I've done for me. I feel like I've reached a lot of stuff with this hair stuff.
You reached your goal. That's not your full
No,
potential.
I feel like there's nothing else here for me. You get what I'm saying? Like I've done in the hair. What else is there for me to do?
It's always more.
I feel like I gotta expand. I feel like I gotta go somewhere else. I've done all I can do in Columbus.
Or you just gotta do what brings you life, gives you life. You feel what I'm saying? You get to it. I was told by a great coach, Coach Lamar, right? He said, you want to create a life you don't need a vacation from.
Bingo.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I agree with
and
that.
that's like, man, imagine like having a life you don't need a vacation from, a life where you're not waking up stressed out and worried. You feel what I'm saying? Like, man, that's like true life goals.
That's
you know what
facts.
I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this though, because you said that you feel like you done all you can do here. However, at the same time, I guess you can say you duplicated yourself. You always
I
want to
feel like-
duplicate
I feel like
yourself.
she's expanded herself. As
So I
far
feel
as
like
she
it's
can
time
go.
for me to move to a different state. I feel like that's going.
You're just trying to get out of Columbus, man.
I am.
That's
That is
all
what
that-
I'm trying
You
to
just
do.
you're giving up a justification
Man,
to get out of
no.
Columbus.
Man.
That's all.
No.
Columbus blow up and get like
Listen.
big like it's supposed to be. Don't come back.
No,
Yeah.
listen,
Don't
I'm
be
always
running
come back. This is
Man,
home.
see, we go close it
No,
This
down.
is
you don't need
home.
to. You
Come
don't, just
back.
just relax. You know,
And do what?
open up at least 2 more dopage dreader spots here and then go.
Oh.
And the reason why I say that is because when you leave the state,
That
now
ain't a
you
bad
got
thing.
income coming.
That ain't a bad thing. She think like that though.
Nah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
That
like
ain't
that
bad,
to an
yeah.
extent too. But I just feel like when you leave a spot that you've been there, you done put your footprint in the ground. Make sure when you leave and you get to wherever you get to, you making money still in that same place.
Yeah, I got some things
I
on
know
my
you.
sleeve.
I mean, y'all already know. I know that's why you quit the podcast before.
I
you
did
know,
not
they
quit.
weren't paying you enough. And shit.
This man be like, yo, we going on a podcast in an hour. Can you pull up?
And then I'll be like 30 minutes
That's
later.
the life of being an entrepreneur.
There you go. There, can we get
That's
up?
the entrepreneur lifestyle. It's like, man, once you at
Wait,
the beginning, you know what it's
Whose
like.
side are you on?
I'm just saying, I'm in the middle. So
You
it's
can't
like,
do that to me.
I'm like what's like a stepchild? You know what I'm saying? Like, being pulled both ways.
Yeah,
like,
you whose side are you? You supposed to be on my side.
Nah, I'm on the side of truth.
Taking sides could be a weakness. It's always
Man,
supposed to
here
make
here
Talk
he
to
go.
Yeah, listen.
You can be bought
Listen.
out with
Yeah,
a
yeah.
No, here y'all go. Don't start that.
price
So-
tag. You got a
I'm
price
weak.
tag. It's a wrap.
Nah, cut it out.
So what motivated you to to get into boxing though? Like
Man, like, I don't know.
how
like,
old was you?
I was 24. Like when
Okay.
I first started everything. Like, man, I was in Bible college, and I was sitting in chapel, and I don't know. I went back to my dorm room, and I just started watching. For some reason, I just started watching Floyd beat up on Arturo Gotti on YouTube, and it's just like, man, I just felt like
You never boxed before the age of 24.
no. I was always fighting. I got into probably 16 fights before then. You know what I'm saying? So I was always
But
fighting.
boxing is different from. I feel like boxing is
Yeah,
like.
it is.
It
Nah, I
is,
never
but-
fought. I never fought before then. You feel what
For
I'm saying?
real?
Nah, never. You feel what I'm saying? So,
I
but
remember
this
when
is
you
my
said
prayer though. This is my prayer though. My prayer. I was like, God, I stood up watching that and I said, God, if you go ahead of me and open up the doors for me to be a boxer, I said I'll use boxing as a tool to save kingdoms for your soul, save souls for your kingdom. You feel what I'm saying? I said, you go ahead of me. I said, I don't want it to be second nature. I want it to be first nature, like breathing. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know in the process of me getting to this point that he was going to turn me into a teacher. You know what I'm saying? That was just more so a transition of me not feeling like the world wasn't seeing me like I wanted them to see me. They
Right.
just see me as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, as human beings and people, we so much more than fighters. You know what I'm saying? It's like I had an influence on people and I understood that. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I had a hating ex-girlfriend. She was like, man, I don't know why people love you so much. Like,
Damn. That's messed up.
Yeah.
But there was,
yeah.
but
That's messed
it's
up.
moments like that though. It's moments like that that let me know. You know what I'm saying? It's like moments and tragic moments like that that let me know who I was. It let me know my light. You know what I'm saying? I'm a petty inspirationalist. If you know what I'm saying, if that makes sense. Like everything inspires me, whether it's negative, positive. It inspires me to be.
I agree
know
with
what
you. I'm the
saying?
same way too. Sometimes you need that negative. That's your gas.
That's that yin and the
Yeah.
yang, that balance. Man, so I asked him, and in the process of me getting here, it's like I just seen I just wanted to become the change I desired to see in the world. And I seen that coaching in the sense of, it's like for some reason here, it's like coaches expect fighters to get it already. It's like they don't want to take the time to build fighters because they already have their names. Like we got some dope, prominent coaches here, and I applaud them on that. You know what I'm saying? Because they got big names.
So do you think that you to be a good coach, a successful coach, you have to indulge into the craft first?
Yeah, for sure. And on top of that, like, all right, so it's 3 transitions of parents that I deal with on an everyday basis. All right, you got the parent that drops their kids off and expects somebody.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Thank God that ain't me.
You got the first. I'm gonna show you. You about to find out who you are, though. You know what I'm saying? The first parent to drop the kids off and expect somebody else. They don't tell you the kid got ADHD. They don't tell you nothing. The kid don't. They don't even tell you they bad. No, some parents do. Some parents will come in and be like, man, he's bad. I'd be like, okay, thank you for letting me know. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the second parent that will sit there and watch your kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you got the third parent that will actually work out with the kid. You know what I'm saying? So for some reason with little kids, it's like you gotta earn their respect. Like you gotta earn their like.
Because if they don't get that right energy from you, they're not gonna be listening to you. None of that.
They don't.
Oh, with him? Nah, he gotta. That's one thing I do love about him. Like his vibe, his energy. Kids know.
Yeah.
They already know.
Energy.
Yeah, like I'm not going for none of that. And I'm a tattletale. I snitch on mine. And he gonna get them right together. That's why I loved it.
I wake up with 9 text messages from different parents like, man, look, he was acting up in school today. Like, I need you to talk to him. I don't mind it, man. It's like, I remember back in the hardest time of my life. Like, for real, like, I wasn't gonna commit suicide, but I thought about committing suicide, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like to commit suicide is just selfish at the end of the day because you got so many people that love you. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, because you're not hurting you, you're hurting the people.
Yeah, you hurt so many people.
But they don't realize that though.
No, they don't. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
you got experience in that. Yeah.
but it's true. So it's like I thought about it, but it was like, man, it's like I instantly had a vision. Like in the vision, it was this cornfield with school buses, but it was like how football fields. It was like 4 football fields of school buses. You know what I'm saying? With corn, like you know how corn is lined up in fields, but it was school buses. Then at the house was at the tip of it was the White House on Django. You know the big house, the big
Yeah. You was dreaming or you was visioning it?
It was a real life vision. Like I had a couple of visions that God gave me. You know what I'm saying? But it was a real life vision. You know what I'm saying? So like, and at the tip of the field was my grandmother, my little sister Lulu, and my little brother Didi, and they was outside plowing. And the scripture came to mind, the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. You know what I'm saying? That was the scripture that came to mind. So I went through one of the back of the school buses, and I seen my grandfather. I hadn't seen my grandfather since he passed away. And he just came up to me and gave me a big hug and said, grandson, you're doing a great job. You know what I'm saying? This was 13 years ago, before all this was happening. You know what I'm saying? I got this vision. So it was like, now it's like, man, I remember last Monday, I had 150 kids that I dealt with. 150 in a day. Monday, from 3 to 9, it was 150 kids.
That's what's up.
Like but
you gotta have a different type of patience.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
I think, but love is patience though. Like that's
it's patience.
Love is patience. That's the first law of love.
Cause them kids be stressing me out.
My kids.
When I was there.
150 kids.
Man.
But it's dope to see it grow. From when we started, there wasn't that many people.
No, it was a transition. You came in transition.
Yeah, I'm about to say because he been going.
No, it was kids there. But I'm saying though, when we first came, like you said, it was a transition.
When I started posting that she was in the classes, but for some reason, like her impact. That's how I know she a dope person because it's like she got the ability to make people around her better. That's the first sign of greatness.
Yeah, she got the spirit.
She got great.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, not a lot of spirit.
A lot of spirit. A lot of spirit.
The spirit. You got the spirit. But it's like, man, it's like certain people you meet. It's like I wanted to low key let her train for free because I was making so much money from her, just knowing her and people coming my way.
I wasn't going for that.
Yeah, she wasn't. She was solid. No. She said I'm still.
Because he's great at what he do.
You know what I'm saying? But that's like. And it's crazy that black people are like that. Black people like giving discounts. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I got to work on. Like
black people like giving discounts, and black people like receiving discounts.
But not everybody give you discounts though.
You're right.
Like, yeah, and it'd be crazy.
Somebody always trying to cut a corner when they. Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, bro, can I get it for this? Come on, man. Like this ain't drugs.
I'm weak.
Man.
So what's your record?
For it, man, I feel like I'm undefeated. Nah, for real, I feel like I'm 6-1. I feel like me and Sando, we fought in Tennessee. What was it, Nashville, Tennessee, and we didn't even do nothing to each other. Like I was studying film on him, he was studying film on me. So it's like I already knew how he was gonna fight, and he knew how I was gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? So it was like it was a stalemate. But you know what I'm saying? My first 3 fights I fought here in the city, and I was undefeated. You know what I'm saying? But in boxing, that ain't how you test how great of a fighter you are. It's like you got to go on the road in other niggas' backyards, and I'm a hooper. You know what I'm saying? So my dopest thing was going into other niggas' backyards in front of their cheerleaders and killing them niggas and talking. You know what I'm saying? Like turning their crowd up, crowd booing. So in that same aspect, I had that same mindset, and I tried to use it in boxing. But I remember my first being 3-0, and I was calling my promoter, and I was like, because I'm trying to get to 25-0. I'm trying to get to 30-0. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to run the bag up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how they got you thinking in boxing. But it's like, it ain't really like that in boxing. You know what I'm saying? He told me straight up. Troy Speakman, he never lied to me. He told me the truth about everything. He said, you're not, in boxing, you're not as good as I don't care how great of a fighter you are. You're only as good as your promoter. And I was like, dang. Like, and that hurt my pride. Like,
because your promoter gonna put you against.
Nah, because boxing is a business. You seen the Rocky movies? Boxing is a business. If you want to turn pro right now, I'll turn you pro, and we go fight 15 Columbus barbers. Your first 15 fights. You gonna go 15-0 because you gonna beat the shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? Because they barbers and they don't know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? Then your first payday, you go fight somebody that's been training, that's been fighting all their life since they was 8 years old. And the payday gonna be $500,000. But you go get your ass exposed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna get turned down.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, but it creates a false sense of self too, though. Because you be 15-0.
Your confidence level is through the roof. You feeling yourself.
But you might not ever fight again after you get your ass exposed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going to happen to this kid? Because this little nigga been fighting. He got 115 fights.
You gonna forget every 15 fights that you won.
Nah, that's real. That's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to go all out the window. Like, I'm telling you. And that's like the game. So it's like, he was telling me, like, man, don't go on the road, man. Let me move your career. But he was moving me so slow, man. I was like, man, by the time I was 40 years old, I'd have been 15-0.
So do you wish you would have started earlier?
I don't know. Because, like, I wouldn't have really had this. I probably wouldn't have had this impact on boxing like I do. Like, now it's like, man, this is so easy to me now. Like,
the reason why I ask that is because they say that it's good to start a kid young so they can get accustomed to taking a punch.
Yeah, but I mean,
because adults don't take a punch don't learn to take a punch as easy as a kid does. Like, if you start out at 5 and you've been getting punched on since you was 5.
That's what they say about football too.
Yeah, same thing.
You get accustomed to the contact.
Yeah, that's why I really went for football. Football was too aggressive. Like MMA, it's aggressive. Like, boxing is the right degree of aggressiveness for me.
Yeah. I thought about getting my son in, and I'm gonna do boxing, but I also want to get him with his feet, get his feet.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, even soccer just as aggressive as boxing. Basketball too. I used to stay in foul trouble though. Like in the game, man, when I wasn't no hack, I played D. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not scoring on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Stayed in foul trouble. Like, so I was like, man, I gotta. In the transition to me not going overseas to play basketball, I was like, man, I gotta find something, man, because I love sports, I love athletics. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna fight again?
Yeah, probably gonna fight in the city in August. It's supposed to be. Yeah, I gotta call the promoter. I gotta talk to Troy, but I ain't.
So why you ain't fight last time? I seen you was supposed to fight, and then you was like, it's some janky shit.
Somebody backed out.
They weren't trying to pay me to fight, man.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I wouldn't. The last fight that I had that I won the belt, the promoter said the belt cost $800. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at the belt. You can look at the belt. The belt looked like it's $250. You can order the belt online. So he didn't pay me. And I ended up having 4 on my amateur. It was a pro-am show. So I had 4 of my amateur fighters fighting on the show. Right. So I ended up paying $575 of hotel fees.
See, nobody knows about the politics.
Yeah,
the
politics bro. Of it. Yeah. Like, I had paid $575 of hotel fees. And he told me, well, you got to pay your opponent too. So he came up to me. I had sold tickets. I probably sold like $800 in tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He came up to me asking for money. I said, bro, I ain't got nothing for you, bro.
Right.
Like, you ain't put us up in no hotels. Like, but I wasn't thinking in that moment that he was a janky promoter, because I was just thinking about the moment of me and my fighters fighting on the same card and how dope that was.
Would be,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, in the transition to dealing with him, we ended up getting, my amateurs ended up getting suspended for 8 months. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for 8 months, my amateurs couldn't fight at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then after that, he wanted me to fight again, and I go to the fight, and I'm looking at the fight purse, and there ain't no fight purse. I'm looking at the contract, and there's no fight purse. Every fight that Troy Speakman or every fight that I fought on for Top Rank or any professional boxing, legit, you have a fight purse, you have a contract, it lets you know how much your opponent's gonna get paid. They got everything, your blood work information, your social security, it got everything going there. You know what I'm saying? It was so janky, it didn't have a fight purse. I went to this clown before the fight, and I'm like, how much am I getting paid? He said, we'll talk about it after the fight.
What?
Oh man, come on. I told my nigga D Vance slide with me to every fight. Every fight that I've had, he slides with me no matter where it's at. Man, I went back to D, I said, bro, we leaving. I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of here. And then it's like, people go, social media, people love talking with their thumbs and shit, but it's like this social media, I'm like, I'll make an impact on life for real. Like, so it's like
people
my
love talking with their thumbs.
Yeah, like, it's like, real life is real life. Like,
You know all about that.
Yeah, you do too.
That's why she said she was getting mad at people talking.
Yeah,
funny.
Yeah, you know how we do, man. So look, okay, so what was the transition from boxer to trainer?
No, I mean, I've been doing that ever since I started. Like, I've been doing it. That's why it evolved like it did. Like, people think like now it's like it's something new, but I've been doing this for 13 years. I'm going into my 13th, going on my 14th year.
Right.
Like it was hard my first 4 or 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But after that, like after I understood, because we grew up in the social media era. Like, we grew up on dial-up internet.
Right.
AOL. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we still can utilize social media for how it's supposed to be used versus how everybody else uses it in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go to TikTok overseas, like China, they not putting pornography, sex, drugs.
They got education.
Man, what? Child entrepreneurs. Man, come on, man. Like, so it's like they feeding the gateways to the soldiers through the eyes and the ears. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they feeding, and whatever you put in comes out. So it's just like, man, like the transition was easy though, because it's something I've always been doing. Like, it ain't something that I had to separate. You know what I'm saying? What's
the difference in training a kid and an adult? Like, what stands out?
It ain't no difference, because some of the kids be older than the adults in boxing. I think boxing is like how dog years is. Like,
it's got to be in you.
Nah, not even anybody can be taught anything. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can be taught. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like people, like some people are thermostats and some people are thermometers. You know what I'm saying? Some people control the temperature. Like, nah, but I learned that. I learned that from being in church. You know what I'm saying? I learned that from being in church. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain people control the temperature of the room, and some people just, when they come in the room, they equate to the temperature of the room. You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
like,
that's a jewel right there.
I'm not one of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them people, like, it's just this is how I always been though. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I go in the room, I'm never second to nobody. Like, that's just my energy. That's just my mindset. And it's like, I feel like that the law of attraction is supposed to attract more people that feel like that. And people get that, they get that mixed up. They feel like, oh, you number one, that must mean I'm number two. You thinking about it too much. You insecure. Nah, if I'm number one, that means you can be number one too. Like,
you got to have that mindset though.
So where did this dog come from in you?
Walnut Ridge.
Really?
4841. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
You had a good upbringing though?
Nah, my upbringing was terrible. Like, I hated my childhood.
I hated my childhood.
I did, man. I used to tell them, I mean, I can't wait to be grown. They used to be like, man, you gonna regret that. I'm like, nah, hell nah.
Do you regret it?
No, I love, man. I don't care how life.
So what was your reason for fighting all the time though?
Man, it's like, I don't know.
Because
like,
if you fighting all the time, it gotta be a reason if you fighting all the time.
16 fights.
Oh no. It just happens fast.
You was a hothead?
You gotta defend. Nah, I wouldn't even know hothead. You just gotta defend yourself. Kids get into fights. Kids get picked on in school. You feel what I'm saying? I wasn't one of them type of people. But you know, in the transition, like, and this ain't even to throw my mom under the bus or nothing. Like, my mom had me at 14 years old. So let me go ahead and throw that out there.
Okay.
That's
all right.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I couldn't imagine, now that I'm grown and I'm dealing with baby moms, it's like I couldn't imagine what she was going through at postpartum, at 14 years old. You feel what I'm saying?
Tough.
Like, man, come on. Like, and it's like the stuff that I deal with now, it's like, all right, I understand. Like, why she was so turned like that. Every time my dad would call, she always cuss him out. He would hang up the phone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I never had a relationship with my dad. Then on top of that, she would be mad at me and would always beat me. She would let her boyfriends beat me. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I used to be terrorized going home and terrorized going to school. You know what I'm saying? Because I was fighting in school, but it got to the point where I would get in trouble in school and I would get the shit beat out of me at home for fighting in school. So it's like, she was going to beat me anyway. She would be mad at work, mad at something at work or something. It was easy to take her off and beat her to beat me. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I had to take the L at school. I stared getting punked.
That's like a violent foundation.
It is, bro. So like, I started getting punked like from the ages of from 3rd grade to 8th grade. You feel what I'm saying? Because I had to survive. Like, nigga, I'm not about to get in trouble at school to go home and get beat by this woman or by one of her boyfriends. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, psychologically, I had to adapt. Like, I did. I had to adapt to get through. You feel what I'm saying? Then when I got to Walnut Ridge, man, like, I met my homie D Vance, Coach Jawanza. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even Coach Jackson cut me my sophomore year. You feel what I'm saying? I went to Coach Jackson. I'm like, bro, I was killing in the tryouts. You feel what I'm saying? He's like, man, how about you come to practice, man? And I ended up being a starter and making varsity. You feel what I'm saying? It's moments like that built me. It's moments like that gave me that character. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's where that came from. I can't lie. That grit come from Ridge.
That's what's
so a lot of everything, it seems like with everybody, it starts with their youth. Like,
you went to Independence, didn't you?
No.
Oh, yeah, I heard. Okay, I heard. I thought she went to Independence.
Yeah, you do seem like you would go to Independence.
Yeah, she do seem like she went to
Independence?
I'm saying because you got that. You do got that. You do got that.
So that's a good thing.
Yes,
it's just like you can walk in any room.
I got that. I thought
Reynoldsburg don't seem like.
I went to Reynoldsburg.
Yeah, you had too much swag for Reynoldsburg. Yeah, way too much.
I got there in 8th grade though. I was at sophomore middle school. There, my mom.
Okay. So that makes sense. So when did you get into boxing?
Come on, man. Well, first of all, I grew up with 3 brothers, so I ain't had no choice but to learn how to fight.
When did you throw your first punch?
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? Like, what was your first punch?
Here y'all go.
Because, I mean, you're a natural puncher. I was there. You know what I'm saying? You be punching.
BJ.
I ain't said nothing. I wasn't there. So I can't speak on it. Listen, he was there. I wasn't.
No.
But you know what? I'm listening. It's a credit to her ability to learn, though. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, like you go back to say, how can you teach 3-year-olds? Like, it's the ability to want to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I trained you, like, you know what I'm saying? You wanted to learn. You did.
Oh, so you got trained too?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah, I was in.
I trained everybody. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I started with Jerry Page.
Oh,
well, you was with Coach Jerry.
I was with Page. I went with Page for about a year. Then that's when I ran into you.
So how long did you box with him?
Man, we was at the gym together, so it was like,
for a minute. He got right. He did.
Because, they had the bags at Crunch, so I'll be over there.
Trying to hit the bags.
Over there, and he'll come in there.
Let me see your stance.
Oh, come on, man. We sitting down.
Tell me
get up I'm not a southpaw, though.
That evolved.
Yeah, I'm not a southpaw.
I wasn't that nice at teaching back then. We didn't even have the rules and several rules and none of that back then.
None of that?
Yeah, I'm not a southpaw.
Okay, so you got lucky.
Yeah. Nah, actually, I was just like him.
Nah, bring your butt out to the
I was fighting
now.
a long time ago, too. Yeah, I was getting jumped and shit. Yeah, I went through all that. I went to a different school every year my whole life.
For real?
Hell yeah. So just think a new student.
I don't think parents know that.
Always getting into it.
I don't think parents know how that messes kids up.
Man, that shit crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they understand having stability in the foundation is so impactful for a kid's success in society, man.
You go to a new school and then you got the females. You always get the females when you're the new student.
Yep.
The niggas.
Because
they're gonna be like, they like, hold up, who the hell?
Chicks love dudes from up north, east side. Chicks love north side. North side, chicks love east side.
That is not true.
Man,
I've never dated a north sider.
You never dated a north sider?
I'm from the east side and never dated a north sider.
Yeah, east side. Yeah, I ain't. Yeah, I don't even go up north too much. Dudes. You right.
Out of town dudes love out of town chicks.
Yeah, man. You're right. That was my problem. It was always had something to do with a female.
Nah, I don't like them type. You toxic.
Yeah.
I'm weak. Nah, he said you toxic.
Yeah,
it wasn't me though. They was mad at me. I'm not gonna fight over her. You come out of the bathroom, there's like 3 dudes standing there like, bro, what y'all doing?
Waiting on you.
I ain't got time for that.
Waiting on you.
Yeah. So how do you feel like how does boxing help like with life?
Oh, no,
What's some of the benefits you think boxing provides like the youth with like just learning in life, like besides discipline? Because that's the point. That's a big key to me.
I don't know. It's like any art, learning how to do any art or craft. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? It's like taking your time to get better at something. It ultimately helps you be able to see yourself in a third person perspective. You feel what I'm saying? It's like the more you watch yourself do a thing, or the more you do a thing, you can get better at it. Mm-hmm. You can fine tune it. You can see where you messed up at. You feel what I'm saying? You can always go back and fix it. You feel what I'm saying? Especially when you're consistent. Like, if you're not consistent, you don't get the opportunity to be able to fine-tune and correct yourself. You feel what I'm saying? It's like that sense of accountability, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it creates that sense of accountability because you'll feel yourself, you'll think you're doing something one way, then when somebody teach you how to do it the right way, then it clicks to you.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Then when you feel yourself doing it the wrong way again, it's like, oh, okay, but creating that sense of accountability for the kids, like, some of the kids, like, when they learn how to box, they get better at school, their grades go up, you feel what I'm saying? Their parents, their interaction with their parents get better, you feel what I'm saying? Then it always transitions to a time where their confidence go up too high.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was never serious. Like, oh, yeah. Man, because boxing to do that
then
to
you.
He
started talking crazy.
Yeah,
you gotta bring it back
that,
down.
Man. It'd be like that with all the little kids. It's like after they first 3 months, because they all go through that timid phase where it's like, oh, I don't think I can do this. Then when they figure out, dang, this is not as bad as I thought it was. I can do this. Then when they feel themselves like, oh, I didn't know I can learn how to fight. Oh, I actually love learning how to fight. You feel what I'm saying? But it translates to anything. Like, if you take your time.
It's a process.
It is,
it's
man.
the process. You can take that process with it.
You can, man.
Yeah, you gotta trust it.
Yeah. What I'm gonna say, when I first got into it with Paige wasn't really teaching you. You weren't hitting no mitts or nothing like that.
Well, that's what I got on to say. That's
Paige,
why I became.
Paige gonna throw you in there to spar right off back.
And I love Coach. I love you to death.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? I love all y'all to death. But I'm telling y'all right now, you feel what I'm saying? It's just different over here.
Talk your shit.
It's just different. Like, it is just what it is. And but it's like I can't. It ain't really shit talk because they value me too. Like, even Coach Vaughn. Coach Vaughn, I remember 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I was like, man, Coach Vaughn, I'm trying to be a legend just like you. Coach Vaughn looked at me in my eyes. He said, champ, you already a legend. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. And I was like, damn. So if that nigga think I'm a legend right now, it's another level to this shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, all right, it's a wrap for this. Like, it's a wrap. Like, certain things, like I said, the pride of man is this small. Like, it don't take much to take me up. It don't take much to take me down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's like, women is different. Like, it take accumulation of likes.
They can
Of
hold
comments,
it.
you know what I'm saying? Then it's like, all right, once I get this, once I get 130, nah, but she different. That's what I said women. That's why I don't apply to her. And it's like, man, but I'd have been in a relationship with chicks. We get into an argument. She posts a picture, and it's 100 niggas telling her how beautiful she is. She walked through the house, bouncing up and down, happy. I'm mad as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't resolved what we had going on. Right. But she happy as fuck.
She running around here with helium.
Man, what? I'm like, man, what?
They done
like,
stroked her.
Man, what? And I'm mad. It's like, but it's like, man, you grow outside of it. You start understanding people, man. Like, that shit is real life, funny. Man. That's real life.
That is.
Like, I got a question. This ain't on this. However, you know, this segment is about life too, relationships and shit too. Check this out.
What you about?
Right, he on some bullshit.
Yeah. Check this out. So I had somebody call me and ask me for some advice. Is it okay for a man to ask his woman if she's the best he ever had?
Are they married?
No. And how do you answer that question as a woman?
I'm gonna answer it truthfully. If you ask me, I feel like first of all, don't ask me. Don't ask me that.
I'm not gonna ask nobody no shit like that. You don't ask no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Cause I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Go ahead. I'm gonna tell you what you gonna tell the truth, and she told the truth.
I'm tell you what the difference.
Don't ask nothing.
I'm gonna tell you the difference between men and women in this situation too.
A woman can take that.
Yeah, they can, and they gonna try to do whatever it takes.
Go ahead. Mike.
But nigga can't take that. I said a woman can take that, and she gonna try to do whatever she can
to make it better, to be the best.
But nigga, we built different.
That nigga gonna leave.
Y'all gonna be hurt. If y'all ain't the best, y'all gonna be hurt.
Listen. You know what what's that gonna do to him?
Just
kill his pride.
I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna do. I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna do to him.
It's gonna tear him up.
When it come time, if he do get in that situation again, the first thing he gonna think about is what she said.
But why would you ask
AEP is not going to cut his electrical.
Nah. But why would you ask that? Why do men ask that?
I ain't ever asked.
Why do y'all care about if y'all thing is bigger than any other person's? Why do y'all care?
I guess it's the same reason why y'all ask.
Now I'm gonna say
I don't ask.
I mean, it's like
if you dealt with what you dealt with, then that's
you gotta think about it. You're different. Like when it comes to like different class of people, you're a different type of person. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I honestly believe that chicks that play sports, they have a different degree for understanding and teamwork and building than a chick that's a cheerleader or a chick that's never played a sport in her life.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying?
I never looked at it like that.
It's like, but
that's the same process he was talking about as boxing and basically using it as a tool in life.
Yeah,
right.
It is. It is.
Right.
It's like just playing sports.
I never looked at it like that though.
It's a team.
Chicks that are hoopers that ran track, that play volleyball, they make great girlfriends. With chicks that are cheerleaders,
so if y'all single, y'all better go get y'all a girl that hoop.
Man, what? Then you better find some ex-hoopers or some
volleyball,
all that. You know what I'm saying?
Anything with a team.
Because she understands the concept of teamwork. You know what I'm saying?
What about a female that box though?